Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Pastor Diana Thompson, the interim pastor at St. John's in New Franklin, Minerva address of Ohio, and also the administrative pastor at St. Paul's Lutheran Church in Alliance, Ohio. Welcome to our Friday devotion on May 1st. We are pleased to have you join us. I do want to point out that you will see a couple of links in the description on the Facebook page, and then also as comments underneath the YouTube video. I'm going to discuss both of those. You don't need to open them, but if you are interested in looking at those later, please follow those links. They'll open on your browser, and you are welcome to download or print those as you need. But I did want to make them available to you so you could reference them early on in this conversation. So a couple of housekeeping things, as always, a few announcements. Members of St. Paul's, the communion wafers are out today until 2, and then again tomorrow, Saturday, from 10:30 till 2. So if you would like communion wafers for Sunday's worship, please stop by and pick those up. We do have a limited number of masks, homemade fabric masks. If you need one, please stop by and pick one of those up as well. We do ask, one a piece, just to make sure everyone gets a chance to get one. But again, if we're having more made, so keep an ear out and we will let you know when they are available and make those available to you. If you need one and cannot get out to get one, please send us a private message and we will do our best to get one to you as soon as possible. We want to make sure everyone has access to those. I do have a couple of updates for prayers at St. John's. So those of you who have been following the prayer concerns of St. John's, please know that Nelson, who has been on our prayer list, Dolly's brother, did pass away throughout the night last night. I'm not sure if it was actually technically yesterday or this morning, but Dolly did reach out to me to let me know that he did pass. So please keep Nelson's family, Dolly in particular, and her one other surviving brother in your prayers, that they find comfort and peace. So I've been reaching out, or Dolly reached out to me this morning to tell me what's going on, and as expected, she is grieving. So please send her a card, drop her a note, give her a call later, and let her know that you're thinking of her and praying for her. We do appreciate it. And for those of you who have been praying for Levi, the newborn, he has been transferred from Canton up to Akron Children's Hospital. He is still in NIC ICU, so we continue to hold him in prayer, and obviously his mom and dad and entire family during this time. So again, thank you for all those prayers as well. Sunday services, St. John's, yours will be pre-recorded and post on Facebook at 10:30 a.m. And St. Paul's service is live on Facebook and YouTube at 11. So again, you're welcome to join whichever service works for you. Bulletins for both services will be posted or emailed to the community as agreed. So look for those as well. We are diligently praying as this goes forward, but both congregations are now continuing to be closed for in-person gatherings and in-person worship through the end of May. And now that the governor has extended the stay-at-home through May, that will not be changing at all during the course of May. So we will continue to honor the stay-at-home agreement and the no more than 10 in a gathering. So we will continue with our worship services as they've been presented. So we're pre-recorded for St. John's, live streamed for St. Paul's. And again, welcome to let us know if you have any questions, if you've had any challenges getting on. We do want to get those to you as easily as we possibly can. So we are doing the best to make that as simple as possible. So now to the actual devotion part, because there's always more announcements than needed. So the first link that is there is a picture, and it's called The Tangle of Emotions, or Tangled Ball of Emotions, sorry. And it is a picture of a skein of yarn, a ball of yarn, and each strand of it is a different emotion you may or may not be feeling. And it's a way to connect to your emotions on any given day. It is actually part of an art therapy process. So we invite you to get out your crayons or colored pencils or markers or whatever you have. And there's a scale underneath that you can mark, I feel this all the time. I feel this occasionally. I feel this rarely, or I feel this never, or some variation of that. And you mark each color. And then you go through each of the emotions and say, okay, what am I feeling? Where am I at? And this kind of caught my eye after Pastor Tim's devotion yesterday when he talked about being in touch with what we're feeling. And so if this might be helpful for you as a way to do this kind of externally rather than just in your head, I encourage you to print that out. If you're unable to print that out but would like a version of it, please let me know and we can make you a few copies and drop them in the mail. I'm more than happy to do that for you. Again, just drop a private message and we'll be happy to get those out to you. The second one is the one I actually want to focus on today, and it's actually breathing techniques. And I've talked about this before about, breathing and doing that. But the premise of focused breathing is actually it calms our entire nervous system. So when we focus on our breath and taking really, truly deep and full breaths, we actually can lower blood pressure, we lower heart rate, we stimulate different chemicals in our brain that cause us to calmness. So I'm going to talk about those techniques, but you're welcome to open that link later, and then you'll be able to see those yourself. And again, if you'd like a printed copy so you can practice some of these. If you think I look foolish, that's okay. But sometimes having, again, a physical way to focus on our breath is another way to help us practice. So I'm going to open this link for me just so I have it to the side and I can refer to it. Unfortunately, I can't open it to see. That's one of the challenges of YouTube and Facebook videoing is it doesn't allow for me to do that. So first, I want to show you what's called the belly breathing technique. And so as we move into this, I want to give you an opportunity to see that in practice. And give me another moment here because, of course, nothing wants to open the way I want it to. Okay, so the first one in here is, again, it's called belly breathing. So best way to do this, feet on the floor. If you're sitting up in a chair, try to sit as straight as possible. And you're going to imagine your stomach like a balloon. I know some of us already think we have a balloon stomach, but this is about breathing and not about what else is in our belly. So what you want to do is you want to take a deep breath in and fill your belly so it actually expands out like you're inflating a balloon. But you want to do it slowly. So in your head, you're going to want to do this to at least a count of 4. And as you practice more, you might want to count to a higher number as you do that. So we're going to practice doing that. So first, and if this helps, put your hands on your stomach so you can actually feel it. And this is not in your chest. This is down below your rib cage. So this is truly in your belly. So as you go in, you're going to breathe in to the count of 4. So you start breathing in. And keep breathing in, feel your stomach expand. Try not to arch your back as a way to pretend like your stomach's expanding. And then you're going to take a pause, and then you're going to let it come out. And again, let that air go down in your belly. And what we encourage you to do is to do this. Usually this is, that whole count to 10 thing. If you do this 10 times, you're going to find an amazing difference. So that's the belly breathing part. And I talked about this a little bit more, kind of holding your belly and feeling it fill and rise and fall with your breath. But then this also has some other techniques. If just doing it that way doesn't feel like your kind of your game or the way you want to do it. So the next one is called square breathing. And this is actually where you're drawing a box with your finger, okay? And when you're breathing in, you're going to draw a line, and you can do left to right, right to left, whatever direction works for you. That's not the point. But as you draw the line, you want to breathe. And again, we're going to do these to 4 counts. So you breathe in, take a pause. When you breathe out, go down. When you go across the bottom, you go in. Pause at each corner. When you breathe out, you're going to go up. Same thing, just repeat it. And again, do this 10. If you need to do it 20, that's fine. I encourage at least 5 so that you're actually really getting focused on that breathing. It's very helpful. It's very good at feeling distracted. This might be, again, another way to take a moment of calm before you go into a grocery store or, go out in a public place to kind of remember that we need to breathe, that this breath connects us. It helps us to be more focused, but it also helps us reconnect to ourselves. So again, that's the square breathing. These are all techniques that are on this link that I sent you. And the other one I thought would be helpful, because this one you could do in a grocery store and no one would know that you were doing it. And it's actually finger breathing. And I thought, oh, this is like the best thing to teach kids. I couldn't even imagine how wonderful this would be to help teach our kids how to reconnect themselves and to calm. So we're going to trace each finger of our hand. And as you go up, you count, do the in-breath for 4. Pause. And as you come down, 4. And then go up. And then down. And up. And down. Now, obviously, I'm doing this with my hand up in the air, but I was just thinking, if you have a student at home who's feeling frustrated, they could even do this quietly on their desk with their hand down on the desk, and they could practice the in and the out, and the in and the out. And you could do this with your other finger. You could do it with, the eraser side of your pencil. Again, what a wonderful way to give not only ourselves, but maybe even some of our youngest people a way to reconnect and to take a breathing moment to calm oneself down. So again, we encourage you to do that. Like I said, I usually encourage you to go do this at least 10 times. This particular says, do it as long as you need and do it until you start to feel calmer. And it may seem crazy, but doing that breath focused stuff really will ultimately make a difference. So when you feel yourself kind of hunching your shoulders, or you feel like you're carrying extra tension wherever you carry it, some people carry it in their neck, some carry it in their back, some carry it in their jaw, wherever that is, use these breathing techniques to kind of let everything calm down your body, calm down your mind, calm down your nervous system. You can even do these, as you're settling into bed. At night, that's another option to calm the mind and the body to prepare for sleep. So again, it sounds really silly, and for those of you who've never practiced breathing techniques, I think you're going to find it really amazing about how effective these very simple events and opportunities can be. So those were some breathing techniques. And when I do my breathing techniques, I always go back to the Genesis story where God breathes into the earth creature, this Adam that he made, and gave it its first moment of life. And for us, breath is the start of life, of really being in the world in a new way. So that first breath as an infant and the last breath we take when we are in the world are huge connections to us, to God, to the one who created us. So breathing, as silly as it sounds, makes huge difference in your emotional and physical well-being. So it's part of meditative practice. It's part of other things that, yoga practices and things like that. But it's also a heart for us as Christians to say, I'm connecting to that divinely given gift of breath. And again, science has proven that it makes a huge difference in our well-being in all levels. So again, look up if you do need copies, let me know. Like I said, send us a private message. We'll try to get copies out to you. As we prepare to close for today and as we move into our weekend, we look forward to seeing you on Sunday. Pastor Muse and I are just thankful that you continue to support the work of our communities, to be generous and gracious to each other. And please know that if there is anything that you need, to reach out to us, and we will do our absolute best to help you get what you need or help find the resources to do that. So again, we continue to pray for you. We hope you are praying for us, and we'll continue to do these live devotions daily, Tuesday through Friday, as long as we're in this stay-at-home order or restricted about who can come out in public places, because we do want to make sure that you know that we're here for you. And again, any questions you have, please post them. We would be more than happy to respond. And if it's something that we can do as a devotion focus, we would love that as well. So again, as we enter into a new month of stay at home, Pastor Muse and I will continue to look at ways to do ministry with all of you. So thank you so much for your generosity and your love and your care for us and for each other, and of course for God's created world. Grace and peace with you. Enjoy your lunch and afternoon, and we will reconnect with you on Sunday. Peace be with you, and God bless. Bye-bye.